Hello and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News Channel. Today we're going to look at Harmony One and why it could be still undervalued. And I'm going to give a prediction for the end of the year price, but that prediction is going to be based on a good series of things because I do believe that Harmony One is undervalued. Not quite as undervalued as something like Wax. And I base these on where their TVL is right now, where their place in the ranking is right now in terms of crypto rankings, and also how active are the Dapps on their system, how much do the Dapps actually have locked. If you actually look at Harmony One, one is actually at 46th place with $3.39 billion of market cap. Now, at 46, on DeFi Llama, it's actually got the 12th most locked if you actually look at the chains. However, the 12th most locked, actually it's the 14th most locked, 1.17 billion, and it's got 36 protocols. The number of protocols, it's not got an amazing number of protocols, obviously, because it actually has more than Luna, which has more than 10 times the value locked. Obviously less than Ethereum, less than BSC. If you have a lot of protocols but not a lot locked, that just means you have a lot of DeFi protocols on there that really very few people use. Luna, pretty much every one of their DeFi protocols, a lot of people use. Whereas some of the others like BSC, they have a lot of protocols that people don't really use because they have 269, but only 14.7 billion locked. So Harmony One, despite being in 46th place, is in 14th place in TVB. Now, you have to realize that not everyone in the top 50 is a mainnet, and not all of them have DeFi or value lock. Some of them are there for different purposes. And Harmony One is one that's actually launched, which is going to give it an advantage over something like DOT or Cardano. But however, I expect when Cardano launches, the TVL will quickly surpass Harmony One. But that doesn't mean Harmony One isn't undervalued, because Harmony One is much lower market cap than Cardano right now by a factor of maybe more than 10 to 1. So Harmony does have a way to catch up. Charles Hutchinson has actually spoken on Harmony in one of his AMAs. He likes their technology. He actually likes what they're doing. And they actually can process a lot of transactions per second. They're pretty efficient. And Charles actually specifically said that if EOS had actually followed Harmony One's route in terms of technology, they might have become something, and they really aren't anything right now. They've been kind of slowly drifting off into the abyss. So Harmony One does have a future. Now let's actually look at the TVL of 1.17 billion. It's actually it's respectable. It's not super high. We'll have to see how that actually grows. So I would say based on their TVL, they are bit undervalued in terms of their market cap, even if you just count those that actually have locks. There are a couple of protocols like Waves that are under it in market cap, but have actually more locked. But those might actually be focusing more on locking TVL really quickly rather than others. Harmony One has been getting a lot more press and a lot more notice than a lot of these. And some of these like Arbitrum, I think Harmony One will eventually pass, because essentially these are Ethereum Layer 2 solutions, and I think most of them are going to flow into Polygon. So I do think Harmony One is a little bit undervalued according to the TVL. Now, if you actually look at Dapp Radar, Harmony One does have a lot of Dapps. You have DeFi Kingdom, Viper Swap, Unite Finance, Mars Colony, and a couple of others that are actually new. You can see new Dapps coming onto Dapp Radar. However, according to Dapp Radar and the statistics there, it's not as overvalued according to Dapp Radar, because the first time you see Harmony One on here is actually way down at number 18. And it is numbers 40 something in ranking, but many of the top 10, and even a couple of those maybe under the top 10, well, mostly the top 10 or top 20, actually have multiple rankings in the top 10. So Harmony is one of those that's not top 30, that actually does have something on Dapp Radar, so you can give it that. But if you really look at another coin like Wax, you would say it's even more undervalued, because it has several in the top 10, and it's outside the top 100. So I would say Harmony is actually holding its own, if not a little bit, punching a little bit above its weight in terms of Dapps as well. And we have to give some time for these dApps to actually develop. Harmony is still relatively new when it comes to these protocols. Wax has actually been around for a long time, and there's a lot of like big older apps that actually use Wax. Whereas Harmony, you can see there's several new apps coming on board, and we'll actually have to see how these new apps actually perform. Maybe in about 6 months to a year, we can really see Harmony's real position in the dApp market. But for right now, it is expanding the dApp market, but and it is, I think, slightly undervalued in terms of dApps as well, but not horrifically undervalued because, you know, it doesn't appear until number 18. But a lot of the coins above it don't have any dApps on Dapp radar that are actually being used. So there's a good argument that Harmony is still ahead of the game there. TVL-wise, number 46, number 14 in value locked, and probably still going up. So it's a little bit undervalued there. So if you take into account that the technology is pretty good, it's gotten praise from Charles, which is actually pretty hard to get, and that it actually does have a decent TVL. And if you look at the TVL line, it has actually grown a lot from December 14th to where it is right now. So it's doubled in like less than a month. So there's lots of big growth actually happening, even when the market's not doing so well. So you can see Harmony is one of those pretty much rapidly increasing total value lock things, but about 70% of it is DeFi kingdoms. So it will actually need other dApps to really come up and take their place, which because of the new dApps that are actually being released, I do believe this TVL will continue to grow. So based on those things, I do think Harmony is undervalued. I would think Harmony does deserve to be like top 20, top 25. I wouldn't say like top 10 because a lot of these like Ethereum, BNB, Solana, ADA, these really aren't going to move all that much, and I don't really see Harmony catching up to like Luna or something. And I think it's going to pass like Shiba and Doge eventually once those like start dropping. I think it's going to be hard for it to pass Polygon, but for actually a good ROI, it doesn't need to pass these things because the thing is like it's much below right now in terms of market cap, that even if it were to catch up to, you know, like Polygon, you would already be at 4 to 5x, and that's Polygon right now. When Polygon basically was at its height, it would be several times this value when Bitcoin goes up. So you can easily get a 10 or maybe a 10, maybe even a 20x from Harmony, just getting into the top, 20, top 15, which I think is very doable. Like I said, there are a couple of coins up here which I don't think it will actually get past. I think some of those other ecosystems just get more press and they will grow faster, but it should grow faster than many of these coins down below it. I do think, therefore, it's undervalued, and I would actually say that, if the market actually turns around, which I believe it actually will, Harmony can actually reach a price of maybe like $5, which would actually be a very good price at the tip of this bull run, maybe about 13, 14x for Harmony 1. So that's kind of my prediction. That's kind of my prediction for Harmony 1. If we actually get a good bullish market going, if Bitcoin pushes past 100,000, I do believe Harmony can potentially climb that high based on the new dApps that are releasing and the growing TVL. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think, like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.